Hi traders, this is Focus Trader, and in this video we're going to have a look at our newest version of indicator, which is called Ict Liquidity Indicator, and it displays as its name liquidity on chart. And I think that this is one of the best, if not the best, indicator there is on Tradingview. So without any further ado, let's get into it and let's have a look how it works, what it does, and how can you use it and utilize it in your trading. So let's go to settings and click reset settings here for you to get a default setting for this indicator. So you all will see basically what I see. We are currently at Euro USD pair on 30-minute time frame. And let's go to settings again and let's go through all the settings, but no worries, I will go really quick. So the first thing that is there is a number of liquidity lines that are currently drawn at the chart. This number is set to 50. The maximum number is 500 because that's the limitation of Tradingview. You can't display more drawing objects than that. So basically, if I zoom out a bit, you will see 50 lines here. And if I increase this number to 500, we will wait for a while until the indicator calculates. It's a long while, and that's also the reason why I'm using 50. You see that many more lines occurred here. You see that, wow, there are a lot of them. So you don't need that. You don't need that much liquidity lines, or sometimes you can need that if you do, for example, I don't know, long-term analysis or something. But let's go with lower setting because that way the indicator is much faster, much smoother, and you will get your calculations much quicker. So this is the default I'm going with. It's 50 and it's fast. Okay, the other thing that is here is pivots mode, and right now we have set it as a fixed mode. So first things first, what is liquidity according to sort of define it on the chart? Liquidity for me is pivot highs and pivot lows. For Tradingview, the liquidity has much more into it, but from the indicator's perspective, it's only the pivot highs and pivot lows. What is pivot high or pivot low? It's a candle that has higher high or lower low than number of bars on the left and right. So if this candle is highest from series of candles, it's pivot high. And it's very important how many candles should be smaller. So that's also the thing in the settings, which is called PVH, PVL. And we have currently set this number to 5. So if I zoom in a bit and I will go to some candle that is not so defining, which is this one, what needs to be present there are 5 candles on the left and right which have higher lows than this low. This candle needs to be lowest from series of candles. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, my hand is not precise with the mouse. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My drawing is terrible, but I think you get the idea. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, not 6 candles on the left and right, and that defines that this candle, this one, is pivot low, and the opposite stands for pivot high. So there are 5 candles on the left and right for this to be pivot high. If I change these settings to 6, this should disappear because this is 6th candle of the series and it's lower than this low. So this one, this liquidity here, should disappear. So let me try to set it to 6, and this one should be gone, and it is. Okay, so this is how it works. This is how we define liquidity, and I will put it back to 5, which is my favorite settings for M30. I'm going from 2 to 5, and that's for reason how many liquidity I want to see or to be drawn on the chart. So if you go to 2, you will see more lines there. You see that some new lines occurred. So this is how it works. Basically, you can see that there is multiple liquidity grabbed here, and also there is multiple liquidity grabbed here. This was also a very nice liquidity grab and the market reaction. But let's continue with explanation of the indicator first. So what is this fixed mode and the second option is time frame mode. What is fixed mode? Fixed mode takes this number and that's it. But let's imagine that currently I'm on 30-minute time frame, so I'll be going to 5-minute time frame. I will want to see the same liquidity on 5-minute time frame as I've seen on 30-minute. So what I need to be doing will be to count how many 5-minute candles are in 30-minute candles. The number is 6. So if I have settings of pivot highs and lows of 2, I need to multiply 2 by 6, which is the number of 5-minute bars in 30-minute bars. So 2 times 6 is 12. I hope so. Okay, and now we see the double liquidity here and here. So let me just draw lines here. Let me draw line here. Let me draw line here. And let me draw line here. Okay, so I have drawn lines that we should see on 30-minute time frame with settings of 2. And that's how it is. You see these two lines here. If I leave setting of 12 there, and wait for a while, you see that this liquidity is gone. This one stayed, but this is gone. So you see the difference. So this is the fixed mode. So if you want to see liquidity of higher time frame on lower time frame, you need to change this number, or you don't, because there is a time frame option. So let me leave this to 2. Let me leave this to 2, and I will switch time frame mode. So now when I go to 5-minute chart and wait for it to calculate, you see that it shows the same liquidity. And if I switched to fixed mode, you see I'm seeing many more lines. So the time frame mode works that it displays the liquidity, the same settings, and the multiplication of bars in 30-minute time frame, which is my base time frame for everything. Okay, so that's how it works. That's what's different between fixed mode and time frame mode. So right now, if I have my settings to time frame mode and I have pivots highs and lows for 30-minute time frame set to 2, the indicator will automatically multiply the number and display me the liquidity from higher time frame. So I think this is very nice feature to use, because you don't need to see that much liquidity on lower time frames if you are not scalping, obviously. So that's it, and let's continue with the settings. And so we explained everything. We know what number of liquidity lines is. It's number of liquidity drawn, the number of lines that are drawn on the chart, the pivots mode, which displays either fixed number of pivot highs and lows, or it displays liquidity from higher time frames on lower time frames. And now let's go to very important thing, which is session. Obviously, when there is liquidity built up, it's a bit different, because in Asia you get very low volume, and in London and then in New York you get very significant volume. So the basic idea that I have about this is that if you see the liquidity drawn from a New York session, you could expect that the liquidity, the number of pending orders and what liquidity is, and I will make, or I have already made, a video explaining what liquidity really is. So there are a lot of orders and a lot of market participants plan their trade according to when price reaches the pivot highs or pivot lows. So the liquidity sort of pool, but the liquidity pool is something a bit different. It's from cryptocurrencies, but that's not the case here. The liquidity is expected to be here, above the highs or below the lows, and you are expecting that the market will make some sort of reaction. Sometimes no reaction is also kind of reaction. So let me change settings of this indicator, and let me go with switching the numbers, the colors of the bars to grayish, some sort of gray, and you can see that you can set your colors to high, which is this arrow up, and this arrow down, it's color for low. So maybe it will be interesting to use just a colors mode. So we'll do red for pivot highs and green for pivot lows. And that's it. You can see that the resistances, the pivot highs are red and pivot lows are green. And now let's make different session liquidity more important. So I will set London session to have 3 points width of the line. You see that it's thicker than the other liquidities. And also I will make New York more thick. Okay, and you can see that there are some significant liquidities and there are some minor ones which are from Asia. This is just an idea, just to show you the features of the indicator. The settings is totally at your depending on your trading style and the way you want to see your charts to look. And right now you can see that when there are thick lines, the market usually takes them and makes some sort of reaction. Here you didn't receive the reaction, but you get a retest, etc, etc. So you see that every time there is some liquidity grab, like for example here in this area, the market tends to make some sort of reaction. So here was a liquidity grab reaction, and also here was a reaction. Also, I don't know, here is small reaction, then another liquidity grab, and when they make reaction. And just from today, you see also liquidity grab and the market reacted. Okay, so this is how it looks like. And let me just show you something that I found very interesting, and it is working with the replay mode and how the liquidity looks like when you are in replay mode, and how it draws on the chart. So I will turn on the replay function here, wait for indicator to calculate, and you can see. And already when you see something like this, you see that there are lots of liquidity lines here, a lot of liquidity lines here, a lot of them here, and also there are some here. So let me just play and let's see what's happening. You see how the price creates liquidity here, there are 3, and instantly grabs this. So we are now expecting price to go here or here below this low to grab this liquidity. So let's see, and we build up new liquidity here and the price reacted. So there's new liquidity build up here, so we expect very fast and strong movement to the downside, or very strong and fast movement to the upside. So we see liquidity grabbed here and another liquidity build up, and we see that we are grabbing this liquidity high. This liquidity was created and very fastly grabbed, and now you see the liquidity grab on the lows. So if you use some kind of strategy, some kind of your framework, you see how they go for liquidity. They created new liquidity here, so it enriches the liquidity pool here, so we can expect very fast movement to grab this. Also new liquidity is generated here, so this area will be more and more important, and you see that there's not so much liquidity there. So we are currently just building up for very fast and strong movement to the upside. So let's wait if it happens, or if it happens after a year. It can happen anytime. And you see they grabbed very fast this liquidity here, but still we get this liquidity build up there. So we grabbed something and left some new liquidity there. So you see how the price develops, how the market goes, how it creates every time it creates some sort of liquidity and then grabs it, and then when they are after the liquidity, they make very strong movement. So you see that market is sort of accelerating to the upside, building up liquidity here. So that doesn't mean that they are after this. It also could mean that they are building this liquidity to go there, and they went and created new liquidity there. Liquidity grabbed and very fast movement and grabbed all this liquidity at lows. So this is how it works. This is something that could help you basically make your decisions. The liquidity was grabbed here. There is not any more historical liquidity here, so we will need to set a higher number of liquidity display to see some liquidity from there, but it's very possible that there is none. So we see another thing. The market consolidates for a bit, creates liquidity, and then grabs it very fast. You see liquidity grabbed, market reversed, the liquidity is here. So we could expect that they will grab this liquidity, or there is still a lot of liquidity there, another liquidity build up at top, and now we're grabbing this liquidity at lows and this one. But I'm still very focused and expecting that they will go for liquidity here. So I don't know if there's a reason to play some more, but this is something that you could sort of train your eye to see, recognize, and look how the liquidity is created in the market and how then it's grabbed. You see, liquidity build up, grabbed, liquidity was here, grabbed, reversed. So you will get some sort of sense of direction or sense of rhythm in the market. And you see that every time they decide to go somewhere, they always create liquidity on the opposite side, grab some sort of liquidity, and then go to the upside. So you see when they are getting closer to this amount of liquidity, they build up new liquidity there. You see? So every time the market is getting closer to some sort of liquidity area, they build up new liquidities to sort of get the power necessary to grab this. And you see how much liquidity is now accumulated here. Another accumulation of liquidity. The liquidity was grabbed here. So after this liquidity grab, we could still expect that the price will go here and destroy this and destroy this. And we'll see if they find their power and grab this. Okay, so we're waiting a bit longer than I would want it to, but you can see that there's some sort of written there's some sort of I don't know, the liquidity is built up and then they grab, and every time the market wants to go some direction, it needs to build up the liquidity on the other side, and it also happens naturally because the price needs to reverse somewhere. So this is how it works. So you can see that this liquidity was built up here, and 1, 2, 3 times they grabbed liquidity at lows just to gain enough momentum and power and build up their position to then go here into this liquidity area. So this is the way that you could look at things, and this is the way you could use these indicators. And of course it works on any time frame and any market. So we could also go to futures and just have a quick look how liquidity grabbing works on the futures, E-mini S&P. You see that there is a liquidity build up here, very strong there. There is not so much liquidity there. We are going to lows. So let me go, for example, I don't know, to daily time frame, and I need to oh, it's okay. And you could see that we are expecting this liquidity to be grabbed. So it's very possible that first they will build some sort of position by going to the upside and then grab this liquidity, but we really could expect that the price will be very fast when it gets there. And this area, this is a fair value gap basically from a higher time frame. So this area will need to be filled also, because that's the idea behind the fair value gaps and the filling of the liquidity. You could see that there is some sort of fair value gap here, and it got filled here, and we have a fair value gap here. So something you could expect from this is to price to close this gap. If they continue and grab this liquidity and this liquidity, you could expect that they will close this gap and then go down. But since the macroeconomic events and the current situation in markets, we really more expect price to sort of break loose and grab all this liquidity of flows there. Okay, so that's it for this indicator. And the last thing that I want to show you, and it's also very important one, is the possibility of setting alerts. So you have a function here that is checked currently for all the session liquidities, and you could set in which sessions you want to receive alerts for liquidity grabs. So whenever price grabs some sort of liquidity, you are alerted by this indicator without needing to set anything else up. So I will just show you how it works. So I think it will be better to go back to go back to Euro USD and 30-minute time frame, and let's have a look. So for example, these two liquidities, liquidity was grabbed here. So after this candle closes, you will receive alert. After candle close, you will receive alert that liquidity was grabbed. So if you create alert and use Ict Liquidity Indicator and use function call, you could call it liquidity grab on Euro USD, for example. Liquidity grab Euro USD. So this could be your alert name, and you will create it, and that way you will be alerted whenever 30-minute bar close, and you have set your alerts properly. But the better idea, or you will be able to see liquidity much better or be alerted much sooner if you go to 1 minute time frame. And remember that we are still in time frame mode, so I'm seeing basically the same liquidity. And I think that the better way would be to set your alerts from 1 minute time frame, because that way you will see the alert when the liquidity of 1 minute bar is grabbed, or on 1 minute bar is grabbed, and that way you will be much faster by the market and the reaction won't already happen. So you will be alerted on this candle, and you receive some beautiful reaction here. Okay, but I don't see any entry. The entry possibly is here because there is a fair value gap here, and you all know ICT, fair value gap, premium discount, etc. So this could have been your entry. You also get another possible entry here, and we get another test here. So right now the probability rises that we have built up liquidity here to be taken, to be grabbed, sort of. Okay, so this is about alert. So again, let me show you. Right click, or you could also click alert button here. So right click, add alert, select the Ict Liquidity Indicator, and set your preference, set the settings according to your preferences. So you could be just notified on app, you could be shown pop-up window in the Tradingview app. You could also receive email or use some kind of script with webhook, but it is more for advanced users. Okay, so this way you will be alerted whenever there is some sort of liquidity grab. Currently we are looking at liquidity from 30-minute time frame with settings of 2. So I think that's all for this video, and that's all for explaining how this indicator works. What's the most important and most difficult thing is for me to explain the difference between fixed mode and the time frame mode, but I hope that I explain it. If not, then send me an email, or just write in comments here on YouTube to comment this video and ask if something is unclear there. Or also in the video description you would see the link to our Discord group, where you get a lot of people using this script, and surely if you ask, someone will answer, or I myself will answer the question. So again, if you'd like to join our free Discord and the community there, you could just go to description of the video and click the link and join us there. Also, if you want to receive more videos like this explaining our indicators, but we also create some videos about the strategy we use for trading liquidity and ICT concepts, and we also are planning or already having a series of videos with step-by-step explanation of our strategy that we use. And that's, I think, it for this video. So also, if you like this video, if you like this indicator, if you want to support me in some sort of way, please like this video. They say that it really helps the video to be pushed by YouTube algorithm more. So I will also ask you for like this video, and see you next time.